So the #1 requested song of all time, well, at least for the last little bit here in my email inbox, has been, guess what? House of the Rising Sun. I'm sure you guessed that from the intro on this. So I wanted to teach this song, but there are tons of videos out there on this and tons of resources to learn it. So I wanted to concentrate mostly on the right hand so you could play it just like it sounds in the recording. It's a little bit different than a lot of people are teaching on the internet, but like the first thing you have to get down is the chord progression and make sure you know the chords. So the chords that you need to know are A minor, C major, D major, this version of an F major chord, just the top 4 strings, and then an E major too. So it's only a handful of chords, but it's a great song. So there are 2 main chord progressions, and before I get into those, you just need to know that this song is in 6/8 time, not 4/4, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like a lot of songs, but just count to 6 over and over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and get that kind of swing feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keep that in mind. Each measure has 6 beats or 6 counts in it. So the first chord progression is what I call the intro progression, or the one that's going on while there's no singing, and then the second one I call the verse progression. And it's the one that's going on while the singing is going on. And they're very similar, they just kind of end different. And all you really need to know is how to play your right hand stuff when any particular chord appears. So let's go through the intro progression real quick, just so you can get those chord changes down. That's like ground zero, the thing that you need to be able to do. So it's A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for one measure, then a C for one measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then a D for one measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then an F for one measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then an A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then an E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one measure, and then A minor again for one measure, and then finally to end this progression, just go back to an E for one measure. And if you don't know these chords, you can go right here to this video and learn these open chords in this F. That'll help you a lot. Once you get those down, you need to work on just switching between them cleanly, and there are kind of different levels that you can take this at with your right hand as far as getting up to speed and working toward the ultimate goal of playing it how it is on the song. The first thing you can do is just, you know, count out each measure and strum once. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, F, 4, 5, 6, A minor, E major, A minor, E major. Okay, so that's kind of the first step. After that, once you're comfortable with the chord changes and you can, you know, switch between them in time, then you can start maybe strumming in 6/8, hitting every 8th note with strumming. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C, D, F, A minor, E, A minor, E. And if you want to play and sing along to the song, that will get you through the entire song. But learning the right hand thing that's going on presents a lot of really cool techniques to work on, and it's a really good thing to build some skills, so let's go over that. And again, if you want to check out the progression over the verse, it's just a little bit different at the end. The same ideas apply when certain chords come up. You just use these same ideas for the right hand. So there is one main pattern that you need to learn. It's kind of a cross between sweep picking and cross picking for your right hand, and I'll play it for you up to speed, then I'll slow it down and we can talk about what's going on. And I got this directly from the music video that the Animals did, so I wanted to make sure to get exactly right, so you would have accurate information. So the basic structure of this thing is down, 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 up, down, up. And it's a little bit weird at first because you end up kind of wanting to do this. Something like that for on the way from the low strings to the high strings. But you need to have that note separation. So you have 1/8 note, and then 2 16th notes with 2 more downstrokes on the D and G string. So, and then another 1/8 note on the B string with the downstroke. So when I do that, I go down kind of on its own. I reset for another down and then push through the next 3 strings with like a sweep. But they're separated, it's not a strum, it's more like that. So you have dun, dun, dun. So that's the place you need to kind of live and really work on to get the style of the song down. It's just being able to do that one thing right there to start. And start very slowly And I keep pressure on the pick almost the whole time after that initial downstroke. So, and then I kind of reset, and then I push through all with keeping the pressure going down. From there, that last downstroke that I pushed through the B string, I kind of let slide over the high E string and hit that high E string with an up. And then a down on the B string, and then an up on the G. So that's where a cross picking comes in. So like one normal note, a sweep, then cross over the high E, up, down, up on the E, B, and G strings. And that is the main pattern that you need to have down. You just adjust it according to what chord you have on, but it is really the same. You just have to make some minor adjustments as you go through the chord changes. So getting that down. And I find the more relaxed I am with my right hand, the easier it is to get through and be accurate. Also, I anchor my hand a little bit here and here, and that helps me keep track of where I am with this particular technique. And it's a little bit weird at first because slowly, it's not that hard, but once you get it up to speed, really keeping that note separation can be a challenge. And you are gonna have to speed this up at some point to get the style and keep up with the sound and feel of the song. But that is the main thing that you want to do. And as you go through this progression, just worry about the intro progression for now. You can worry about the verse progression later. Just think about this pattern for each chord, and here's the pattern for each chord. The C is the exact same. You can use the exact same strings. So down, 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 up, on the exact same strings that you started with for the A minor. And we have the tab here for you too if you need to slow this down even more. So that's kind of easy. You get a double dip on the A minor and the C. Now when you get to the D, things change a little bit because you're only using the top 4 strings. So start the pattern on the D string this time instead of the A. And it's the exact same pattern, but when you get to that high E string, you run out of strings, so you hit the E string twice. The high E string, just the first time you with a downstroke, and then the pattern starts on the E, up, down, up. So E, B, G. Same pattern, you're just hitting the E string twice. So once you get the A minor and the C down, just work on that because it's going to feel different and you need to train your body to go to the D string and hit that E string twice. Next is the F. And it changes a little bit here, but the basic pattern is kind of the same. So start off like you did on the D with the D string and play down, 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 up, but once you get to this point, you have a G string that you need to play a downstroke on, and then lift your middle finger off of the G string to play that open G string. And that's the pattern for the F. Down, 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 up, G string down, open G string up. And that's probably the most difficult one to me because it's the most abnormal for the pattern, but just spend a lot of really slow time programming that in. Then after that, and the progression for the intro is just back to an A minor. And then you go to an E major chord where the pattern changes again a little bit. The only thing that really changes is the lowest string that you hit. Instead of hitting the A like you did for the A minor, you hit the E and then leave everything else the same. So you hit the E, then skip over the A and sweep down the D, G, and B strings. And then same pattern as on the A, up, on the E, down on the B, up on the G. And then you go back to the A minor, back to the E, down, skip over, down, 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 up, down, up. And that is the entire progression with this actual legit pattern from the song. Now you can do this with fingerstyle stuff too if you're more of a fingerstyle player. There are some unique challenges there. And I don't know this as well, I just kind of learned it last night. I was like, should do fingerstyle for this too. So what I do here is, instead of sweeping, I get both the A and the D strings with my thumb, like that. And that's the pattern for the A minor. And the same thing for the C. So the thumb is kind of pulling double duty on the A and D strings. And then for the D, it gets a little bit different here. It's a little bit more of a different pattern for your fingers. So you have, just roll up, And then I end up with that roll on my third finger, then the middle finger hits it twice, again, because we have that E twice at the top of the D chord, remember? You can do with the index and thumb on the B and G strings if you like there. And then for the F, kind of the same thing. And then just hit the G string with my thumb twice for the F. Back to the A minor. E is the kind of pretty easy. You just put your thumb back to the low E string. Back to the A minor. And the patterns don't change from chord to chord when you get into the progression for the verse where you're singing. It just, you just have to match up the patterns with the chords. They don't change. And if you listen to the original song, you're going to notice that when the song builds, he moves into like a strumming part where it's just strumming all downstrokes on eighth those. With a little 16-note tag on the end of each measure just to give it some drive. So I think when you actually dig into the song, it's not as easy as it sounds, especially if you're playing it the way it was originally recorded. So it's a good opportunity to work on some sweep picking and some cross picking in a context that's not always how we would think about sweep picking or cross picking. It's pretty cool. So I know a lot of people start out learning this song for good reason. It's an awesome tune to play. And this might be the first song that you've learned. But if you haven't learned any songs yet, let me know what's the very first song that you want to learn on the guitar. And maybe I'll make a video on it. Let me know in the comments below. See you later.